Justin Bieber just fell apart on stage. And no, this isn't about some steamy surprise moment with SZA. This was something darker, something way more real. And now, the whole world is seeing it. Justin is not okay. It happened during SZA's Los Angeles show. Out of nowhere, Justin walks on stage. Crowd goes wild, cameras start rolling, people think it's a surprise collab. But watch it again. He's not really performing. He's holding the mic, sure, but the words don't land. His voice? Barely there. His body? Sluggish. His eyes? Gone. But that's not all. He walks over to SZA, grabs her hand, kisses it, and just stares at her like he's completely checked out. Fans instantly screamed cheating. But this wasn't some pop star love triangle. This was a breakdown in real time. And SZA? She didn't flinch. She grabbed his face gently, looked him dead in the eye, and held him steady like a friend who's done this before. Not a performance. Not a publicity stunt. It was someone keeping him from falling apart in front of thousands. But listen to this. That hand kiss? It wasn't flirty. It wasn't romantic. It was desperate. It was quiet. Like a thank you from a man who didn't have the words to say he was drowning. Justin wasn't trying to be dramatic. He was trying to survive the moment. And right there in the crowd was Hailey. Cameras caught her face. Blank. Not sad. Not angry. Just empty. Like someone who's seen this before and already knows how it ends. It gets worse. Hailey didn't look shocked. She looked resigned. Like someone watching the man she loves unravel again and again, while the world turns it into a meme. She stood by him for years, through meltdowns, breakdowns, and everything in between. But what do you do when love isn't enough to pull someone back? Let's not pretend this is new. Justin has been spiraling in public for months, yelling at paparazzi just for asking a question, storming off cameras, appearing dazed, foggy, out of it, and people keep brushing it off. He's tired. He's emotional. He's just being Bieber. But no, this is something else. This is something deeper. Here's where it really explodes. The moment on stage wasn't romantic. It was terrifying. Justin clinging to SZA like she was the only thing keeping him grounded. The way his eyes darted, the way he froze mid-performance. That wasn't a performance. That was someone in crisis. And yet, what's trending? Justin cheating on Hailey? Are you serious? This isn't about SZA. This isn't about rumors. This is about a man who cannot sing one song without breaking down in front of thousands. This is about mental health in plain sight, and nobody is talking about it, except maybe Hailey. But even she looks exhausted. Let's zoom out. Justin has been dealing with health issues for years, from Ramsay Hunt syndrome that left his face partially paralyzed, to ongoing anxiety, to depression. He said it himself. And yet every time he falls apart in public, it's twisted into drama, into clickbait, into who's he flirting with now? This is why celebrities suffer in silence, because instead of getting help, they get hashtags. Instead of care, they get chaos. And Hailey? She's been carrying this, always in the shadows, always the one picking up the pieces, but now even she looks like she's about to break. So let's ask the real question. Who's helping Justin? Where's his team? Where's the intervention? Where are the people who aren't there for a photo op, but for a real plan? Because this isn't sustainable. This isn't showbiz. This is someone's life unraveling while the world turns it into gossip. And while fans are busy shipping him with SZA or dragging Hailey for looking cold, nobody's paying attention to what's actually happening. Justin is asking for help without saying a word, and nobody's listening. But SZA did. On that stage, she saw what was really going on, and for a moment, she became his anchor. And Hailey? She's been doing it for years, but she can't do it alone. Final word? This isn't a scandal. This is a crisis. And if people don't stop gawking and start acting, it's going to get worse. Way worse. Justin isn't playing a role. He's not faking it. He's fading. And if you watch that video one more time, you'll see it too. There's no way back from this unless the right people step in now. Not tomorrow. Not after the next viral moment. Now, but a lot of people are finally starting to wake up. It's no longer just fan theories. People are asking the real questions. What if this wasn't a scandal? What if it was a cry for help, and we all missed it? But here's the problem. While some are getting it, others are straight up clowning Justin. dragging his performance, mocking his stare.
This is a little tincture potion that I got. I would say probably when I was around 12, my dad flew me to go meet with this witch who lived in the mountains, and she made this specifically for me. She told me that it would make a young Canadian pop star fall in love with me.
Saying he touched SZA because he secretly hates his wife. That's not just cruel, that's delusional. Because let's be real, it's an open secret that Justin and Hailey's marriage hasn't exactly been sunshine and roses. But to take this performance and spin it into, he needs a black woman to ground him, is sick. That's not cute. That's not a meme. That's a man falling apart and a friend trying to hold him together. It gets even worse. People are turning this into some romantic comedy fantasy, making edits, shipping Justin and SZA, calling it a steamy moment. What are we doing? Watch it again. SZA wasn't flirting. She was rescuing. At one point, she literally put her hand on his back, not for choreography, but to keep him from slipping away completely. She was grounding him, while the crowd screamed, while the cameras rolled, while the world missed it. That's what makes her the hero in this. She didn't walk off, she didn't freeze, she kept the show going and kept Justin upright, at the same time. Respect that. And now let's talk about Hailey. People love dragging her like she's just in this for fame, for clout, like she's some cold-hearted accessory. But anyone who's ever loved someone in a downward spiral knows it's draining, it's lonely. And watching it happen in public while the internet mocks it, that's another level of hell. Let's cut the nonsense. This isn't about Justin being moody or awkward. This isn't about his marriage or SZA or who he kissed. This is about someone barely holding it together in front of thousands, and nobody stepping in but a duet partner who had 10 seconds to decide what to do. Here's the real kicker. Justin has told us before. The industry broke him. The pressure crushed him. The fame twisted his head. He's been honest about it. So why is it, now that we see the crash happening live, nobody's reacting? The signs are all there. The vacant stare, the disconnected body, the heavy energy. Anyone who's been around someone struggling with substances or mental health knows that look, that presence, that fight to stay in the moment. It's not performance art, it's survival. So again, ask yourself, why was he even on that stage? Because it feels like nobody around him is asking the right questions. Nobody but SZA. She didn't have to be there for him. But she showed up, mid-song, mid-chaos, mid-confusion. She showed up when it counted. Final thought? This isn't about drama. This is about danger. And if we keep twisting it into entertainment, the next time Justin breaks down, it might not end with a kiss on the hand. It might end with silence. The truth is staring us in the face. And SZA might be the only one who saw it in time. But here's where it really hits home. Because while Justin is spiraling in public, the internet keeps asking, where's Hailey? Why isn't she reacting? Why isn't she storming the stage, dragging him off, saving the day? Because maybe she's already exhausted from trying. Hailey Bieber finally spoke up. And what she shared wasn't just some influencer sob story, it was raw, honest, painful. She opened up about what it's like to live in a constant storm, where no matter what she says, she's always wrong. It gets even deeper. During a Vogue cover shoot, her biggest career moment, she talked about how for years people have called her a stalker, accused her dad of being a pimp for supporting her dreams, and twisted every move she made into proof that she doesn't belong. And when she tried to speak her truth, the internet gaslit her. I fought so hard to be understood, Hailey said, but sometimes people just don't want to understand. But that's not all. She even revealed she's been in serious therapy just to survive postpartum depression and to make sense of the constant attacks, on top of raising a new baby, on top of being married to someone unraveling in public. She said being postpartum was the most sensitive time of her life. And through all of that, she's just trying to stay sane. But guess what happened next? Instead of support, she got dragged again. One comment read, "People who try to convince you they're in a happy relationship usually aren't." Another, "She'll never convince me she didn't stalk him. The proof is out there." It gets nastier every time. People even accused her of mocking the stalking allegations, saying she acts like it never happened, even when she literally addressed it head-on. But listen to this. Even if Hailey hasn't always said the right thing, the level of hate she gets is not normal. And in moments like this, when Justin is clearly in crisis, people act like it's all her fault for not jumping in and saving him. Why? When Justin breaks down, Hailey gets blamed. When Justin shuts down, Hailey gets called fake. When Justin sabotages a moment, she gets humiliated. And that brings us to one of the coldest moments yet. Hailey finally landed a solo cover on American Vogue, a career-defining milestone. She looked strong, independent, ready. But Justin? He couldn't let her have that win. He pulled up looking like he was on his way to 7-Eleven. Hoodie, baggy shorts, no energy, no love, no support. And it wasn't just the outfit, it was the message. He stood next to her like a stranger, didn't smile, didn't pose with her, didn't celebrate her. And for what? Attention, control, some power move? Whatever it was, it worked. Because instead of people talking about Hailey's moment, the conversation became about him. Again. People said it straight. Who needs enemies when you've got a spouse like this? And honestly, they weren't wrong, because this wasn't the first time, and if things don't change, it won't be the last. So here's the truth, no one wants to say out loud. Hailey Bieber is not the villain. She's not the problem. She's the one holding it together in silence, while the man she married seems determined to tear it all down. And SZA, she's not a fling, not a rebound. She's the person who did what needed to be done when no one else did, including Justin's own team. Final word, this isn't just about celebrity drama. This is about real people suffering while the world turns it into a soap opera. And unless someone steps in, we're going to keep watching these two crash in slow motion. The internet loves a downfall, but nobody's asking, what happens when there's nothing left to fall from? Because that's exactly where this is headed. And everyone sees it, except the ones who should be helping most. But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Justin Bieber had one job: celebrate his wife. That's it. Just say, "Congrats, babe, I'm proud of you." But no, what he did instead was unhinged. The moment Hailey's solo Vogue cover dropped, a literal career milestone, Justin jumps on Instagram. And instead of hyping her up, this man digs into their emotional trauma files mid-celebration. You won't believe this. He posts the Vogue cover, but in the caption, he literally writes, "This reminds me of when Hailey and I got into a huge fight and I told her she'd never be on the cover of Vogue." Excuse me? On her big day, he brought up a moment where he tried to tear her down. He even admitted it, said he felt disrespected and needed to be even with your wife. For what, Justin? Breathing? And then he tries to clean it up with this half-hearted apology. "Baby, you already know. But forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because I was clearly, sadly, mistaken." Sadly mistaken. That's not an apology. That's a backhanded pat on the head. But listen to this. The internet caught it immediately. One person commented, "It's giving. I didn't think you'd do it, but you did it. So my bad, I guess." Another said, "This is classic, how do I make her special moment about me energy." And the most brutal one, "May this love never find me." Phew. And honestly, they're all right. Why post something like that on her day? The spotlight was finally on Hailey, and he yanked it away, dragged in old fights, his ego, his revenge fantasies. All she needed was a congrats. What she got was a therapy dump in front of millions. It gets worse. Hours later, he deleted the entire caption and replaced it with emojis. But the screenshots live forever. People called it what it was: controlling, bitter, emotional sabotage. A heart emoji would have been enough. A soft smile would have been enough. But no. He had to remind the world that at one point, he wanted her to fail. Want to know what stings even more? Back when Kendall Jenner made it to the cover of Vogue, Justin didn't hesitate. He posted the cover with a sweet, clean caption. "Congrats, Ken, you look beautiful." So where was that energy for his own wife? This wasn't a mistake. This was a pattern. Fans have clocked it for years. The red flags, the shady body language, the awkward photos, the weird public comments. This Vogue moment, just the final straw? One user said it best. "This is what you get when you're obsessed with someone who was never into you." And honestly, I feel for Hailey. Because while her face made the cover, his behavior made the headlines. Again. And with every one of these moments, it becomes more clear. Hailey isn't the villain. Justin is just making sure she never wins. So can we please stop blaming Hailey for his failures? She may have chosen this relationship. She may have fought to be in it. But half the time, the backlash she gets isn't even about her. It's about the things Justin does on his own. And the hill I'll die on? Hailey Bieber has taken too much heat for a man who keeps throwing her under the bus again and again and again. So whether you like her or not, this one's not on her.